This morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:01 on August 4th. I'm Madison Pergram, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. Well, I keep saying it, but I'm so excited today because I think we're going to get a little surprise with some cooler temperatures. But let's go to Kelly McShane. Kelly, are we still going to see those lower temperatures? Can we pull out those sweaters and those jeans and flannels?
We are going to see those cooler temperatures heading into this afternoon. I am very excited about it because we've been dealing with the 90s for the last several days, and now we're just going to be dealing with the 70s heading into this afternoon. And it's off to a pretty calm start as well. We're looking at Whitesburg this morning. Good morning to you folks, and we're not seeing too much fog out there. So like I keep saying, it's just a pretty calm start to the day. You can see satellite and radars not showing much rainfall throughout the region. That front that is working through has been dry, but it has been packing a punch as far as those temperatures go. Check out those temperatures. Upper 50s into Moorhead now, 60 in Ashland. Lexington and Richmond are at 61 this morning, so definitely cooler to the northwest, and folks around the region are starting to get into those lower to mid 60s. So overall, waking up a little bit cooler than the last several mornings, and that trend will continue heading into this afternoon. I'll have those details as well as your weekend forecast here in just a little bit, Madison.
That is good news, Kelly. Well, thank you. The city of Hazard is removing an eyesore. Yesterday, workers were cleaning up a property on Highway 15 heading into the city. This is part of a campaign to clean up Hazard. They are issuing notices to properties not up to code and even recently tearing down a building. WYMT's Emily Bennett talked to city officials about the cleanup.
The city of Hazard is taking action to get buildings up to code.
These are what we call imminent action and emergency action, and this is one of the first properties you see as you come into the city, and we just want to make sure it's cleaned up.
Officials posted a citation on this property on Route 15, but the owners did nothing.
The landowner ignored the citation, which after 7 days the citation actually turns into a final order.
A crew of city workers arrived Thursday to clean up junk surrounding the buildings.
There's probably right at 100 pieces of appliance here. I mean, refrigerators, ice chests, ovens, stuff that's not safe.
Hazard is cracking down on properties that are not up to code. Some of these buildings have been under violation for years.
If they can't or they don't get it cleaned up, as a city, we will come clean up this property, but you get a bill. It's not for free. It's not a free service.
The city recently tore down a building on Memorial Drive.
Like 401 Memorial was completely unsafe. It was a fire hazard, it was a structure hazard, and a hazard just to the community.
Commissioner Susan Brotherton says she wants the city to look welcoming for new businesses.
You have blighted property near you, it hurts your business. People don't want to come shop. They're scared of, abandoned looking areas.
In a message, the city is moving forward. In Hazard, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
Eversole says they plan to tear more buildings down soon. However, he does say some property owners are putting in work to get their properties up to speed. Well, an Eastern Kentucky coal company has filed for bankruptcy. Court documents show Pineville-based Rockhampton Energy filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy earlier this week. It is not clear how many employees are affected, but one person told us they have not worked for weeks. A meeting of creditors is scheduled for November 7th in Corbin. And the Kentucky Department of Municipal Aid made a visit to Pineville City Hall yesterday. Commissioners with Governor Matt Bevin's office made a funding announcement saying nearly $110,000 was going to the city of Pineville for road resurfacing.
A lot of small towns, rural communities are cash strapped, and we understand that. Governor Bevin understands that, and we're working with these local officials to address their infrastructure needs.
The money will go to resurface West Kentucky Avenue and Alabama Avenue in Pineville. And GM employees have spent more than 2 weeks on strike now. They're getting help to put food on the table. And on Thursday, day 18 of the strike, Feeding America brought groceries to UAW members at the Corvette plant in Bowling Green. They brought meals from an emergency food pantry in Elizabethtown to feed 500 families.
But one of the things we provided today to them was also a list of food pantries and distribution points in the county where they live. We've got a lot of workers that were here today from surrounding counties who need food.
Officials say negotiations between the union and GM are ongoing. And 5 entrepreneurs in Eastern Kentucky came together with a mission: brew and bring in tourism. Those efforts resulted in a microbrewery in Pike County. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more on the upcoming opening of the Broken Throne.
For some, it is about the alcohol.
You're going to have a rotating selection of all kinds of different drafts. It's always going to be something new.
For others, it is about the atmosphere.
It's a place where people come to hang out. They come to study. They come to do all kinds of different things that you would normally do in a community.
Whatever your preference, the team at Broken Throne is happy to serve.
You need that third place in your life where you can kind of get away from the house, get away from work, and really experience something that's fun.
With the business model that always brings new flavors to the tap, the constant experimenting and brewing all happens under one roof on Pikeville's Main Street.
So it's very labor intensive, but what that brings back to the process is that labor of love. It's not just something that you can go and buy a 6-pack of at your local liquor store.
Which is part of the reason for the company name, since the beer on tap is always being dethroned.
And that means we can kind of change things up all the time.
But those involved say the name and the business serve a purpose that is not about the brew.
And now that the coal industry has sort of went into a decline, we really feel like it's sort of that broken throne, that one throne of the king that used to rule, and now the economy in the area is changing.
That is where the Broken Throne crew hopes to step in.
Broken Throne is really there to help build up that new economy and bring around that new throne that's going to be there.
As they move forward toward their opening date. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Now that opening date is set for Thursday, October 24th, but a sneak peek of the brewery is planned for tomorrow following Pikeville's Hoptoberfest, and a soft opening is also planned for the weekend before the grand opening. And UPS is making a massive investment in Louisville. On Thursday, the shipping company announced new construction projects totaling $750 million. Those projects are expected to create 1,000 new jobs. And UPS says they plan to build a hangar big enough to house 2 747EF aircraft by 2022, and those are the largest in its fleet. And a medical partnership has led to a drop in ER visits and healthcare costs. WellCare joined with the Kentucky Home Place to help those with diabetes and high blood pressure attend prevention and disease management courses. WellCare gave $15,000 in gas cards so members could afford to attend the classes. The study showed a 10% drop in trips to the ER, a 23% drop in hospital admissions, and a 13% drop in healthcare costs.
It's one thing to offer these courses, but if they don't have reliable transportation or can't afford to drive 20 miles to get to the classes, it's not going to be a worthwhile course.
The classes also covered mental health, first aid, CPR, and other topics. Well, the Perry County McDonald's on Combs Road in Hazard broke a drive-through record yesterday morning. From 7:30 till 8:30, McDonald's held a fundraiser for Perry Central football team. They donated $2 to the team for each customer who came by to grab some breakfast.
If we push through 200 cars between 7:30 to 8:30, for every car we was donating $2 to the football team. If we did over 250, we was donating $3. So between that hour, we pushed through 229 cars.
The total amount raised for Perry Central football was $458. Well, several community groups team up to host an event tomorrow at the Buckhorn Lake State Resort Park. It's designed to raise money and bring people back to the area. I took a trip over to the park to learn more. Although it may be hot now, the weather's looking perfect for this weekend outdoors.
It's going to be a beautiful day. The weather's going to be perfect, so everyone should come on out.
A day outside at the Buckhorn Lake State Resort Park for Float the Horn.
We will have canoes and kayaks on a first-come, first-served basis.
An event Janet Smith, president of Perry County Chamber of Commerce, says raises money for new playground equipment.
We thought this would be a fun one and an easy one to put together.
And attract people back to the area.
We have a beautiful place here, so we just want to try to get people to come back out and enjoy our park like we do.
Chris Fugit, the park manager, says they offer a lot.
Fishing, we have hiking, come enjoy a meal on the weekend.
And nearly a year ago, a coin toss determined bringing alcohol sales to the park in hopes of spurring growth.
I think it will eventually bring more people in because people want that option when they come to a place.
But for now, focusing on Float the Horn this Saturday.
And we're looking for a large crowd.
Basically, if you just want to get away somewhere enjoyable, somewhere
beautiful scenery, then come and see us.
Creating fun times and memories while enjoying the outdoors. Now, if you are interested in going, it's a beautiful place out there. The registration fee for the event is $30. $15 goes to pay for food, and the other $15 goes to help pay for the equipment.
Temperatures as we wake up on your Friday morning are feeling a little bit different than the last several mornings. We're a little bit cooler for some of us, and some of us still feeling a little bit on the warm side, but not for long. We're seeing those temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s to the northwest, and for a lot of us, we're still in the 60s, but that cool air is continuing to filter in from the north and west this morning. And satellite and radar is showing really not too much to talk about. We're seeing just a few clouds move through the region this morning, and by the time we get to this afternoon, we're going to see mainly sunny skies with a few clouds here and there, but we do stay dry with a northwest wind keeping us a little bit on the cooler side with temperatures in the mid 70s. And I'll let you know about that weekend forecast as well as our next best rain chance here in just a little bit. Madison.
Thank you, Kelly, and thank you for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. And after more than 1,200 measles cases this year, the U.S. was in jeopardy of losing its elimination status on the disease. And for many, everyday tasks become far harder to do due to tremors. One groundbreaking new treatment is working to change that.